Psych Perspectives, giofvcks here, and in this video, this is one of them videos that I've been meaning to do for quite some time because it's just every time you turn around, there's a situation where you have a person, and it's typically a cisgendered heterosexual man or a cisgendered man. However, it really doesn't matter because a cheater can be a cis woman, a trans woman, a non-binary person, a trans man, a trans feminine person, a trans masculine person, intersex, black, white, Asian, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, Latino, Native American, indigenous, black, white, poor, rich, wealthy, middle class, working poor, religious, non-religious, Christian, Protestant, Muslim, Jewish, etc. It really doesn't matter. A cheater is a toxic individual, is a toxic person. And I feel like the better we get at discussing how they are toxic, the better we all will get instead of constantly coming up with excuses for this type of behavior when there is no excuse outside of the fact that the person that's doing it is toxic and dysfunctional. 9 times out of 10 has a boatload of insecurities. Okay, if they don't have a boatload of insecurities, they are emotionally unavailable, emotionally manipulative. They're manipulative, they're lying, they're habitual and pathological liars, they're non-monogamous, but they're not upfront about it. And let's be honest, they have some very dysfunctional attachment types, and in my opinion, they're more than likely narcissistic. They may even have NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, and or have a lot of narcissistic traits. Because that's just it. The whole premise, okay, when you look at people who cheat, the whole premise of it is they're lying. They're lying. They're lying. That's, you know what I mean? It's the habitual pathological lying for me, right? It's the telling people that you're in a committed relationship and you only love and care about them, and you're monogamous and you want to spend the rest of your life with this one person, and you're supposedly in a committed monogamous relationship. Meanwhile, the entire time you're playing the field, talking to multiple different people, having sexual relationships, sexual intercourse, vaginal intercourse, anal intercourse, oral intercourse, sexual relationships outside of the person that you've been lying to and telling that you are monogamous and committed to. And again, I'm just going to keep saying it. It can be anybody, regardless of their identity, okay? Regardless of their social status, race, ethnicity, gender, sex, class, education level. However, it does seem to be mostly cisgendered men who kind of have this whole mindset of, let's continue lying to everybody and playing with everybody's emotions. Let's continue gaslighting because, every time, in particular, every time women have any type of inkling that the man that they're talking to is cheating on them, these are the very same men who then turn around and gaslight your ass, These are the ones who you've caught them flirting with other people. You've caught them liking other people's pictures. You've literally seen them grabbing and groping folks. There could literally be a sex tape, a straight up video. You could have video footage of this man having sex with another person, and they will still sit up in your face and gaslight your ass and make it seem like you're crazy for questioning all of the stuff that's taking place, for wondering why they're flirting with people, why they're constantly out late at night and they never can return your phone calls or text messages. Why is there video footage of you receiving oral sex from another person? Why is all of this stuff out in the open, but they will still gaslight and make it seem like you're the one that's crazy and unhinged? And then they'll flip it and turn it around on you. They're so good at that, right? They're good at that. They'll flip it around and be like, well, why are you going through my phone? Which, don't get me wrong, you shouldn't be going through people's phones. You shouldn't be touching people's personal property. And quite frankly, if somebody is liking other people's pictures, it really shouldn't be that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Because people are individuals. People do have freedom. However, at the same time, you can see why someone who's been lied to, gaslighted, and cheated on and had their mind played with may start thinking, why are you liking this person's pictures? Because those of us that have dealt with narcissistic, emotionally unavailable, emotionally manipulative, toxic and dysfunctional, pathological, habitual liars, those of us that have dealt with people who are like that know all too well, 9 times out of 10, if they're liking this person's pictures, every time you turn around, they're texting this person, they're always together, that's probably the new supply. Let's just keep it real. That's probably who they're cheating on you with. And I would just keep saying this. I don't care if you are a cis man, a cis woman, a trans man, a trans woman. I don't care who you are. In my opinion, in this day and age, you really can't trust people. It is what it is. People need to prove that they are trustworthy. You can't just be giving trust and all of this trust to everybody when you just met them. You don't know anything about them. Me personally, after what I dealt with, I'm about to be 30 literally in 3 weeks. Ancestors willing, universe willing, Lord willing, society willing, I will be turning 30. And I've had my share over the past 4 years of toxicity, but really only one really horrible situation. And that was enough for me to see after 2018, you can't trust these people. And again, I'm just going to say it. If I'm dealing with a cis man, I'm not going to be putting a bunch of energy into it. I'm just not. Because time and time again, that demographic continues to show they're liars, they don't care about anybody but themselves, they're selfish, they're self-centered, they don't know how to communicate, they purposely keep key information from you, right? That's where the lying and the manipulation all comes into. Because a lot of these idiots could just keep it real and be honest, like, hey, I'm non-monogamous, I'm talking to multiple different people, I'm sleeping around with other people, I'm single and I'm dating and I'm mingling. But the key point here is I'm non-monogamous. I'm not trying to be in a committed relationship with you. Instead of keeping it real with you, they go and they play these games like you're the only person that they're talking to, like they're looking for a monogamous committed relationship. Then these are also the very same toxic ain't about shit people, right? Because despite the fact that it does seem to mostly be cis men who participate in this, you got to keep it real. Cis women are doing this. Trans men are doing this. Trans women are doing this. Non-binary people are doing this. Human beings are doing this. And the point of it all is instead of keeping it a buck, Hassan Campbell style, instead of keeping it all the way funky, they go and they want to lie and manipulate because they know if they was to keep it real with you, there's a high possibility. I'm not even going to say a high possibility. There's a 50% possibility, a 50% chance that you're not going to be interested in talking and dealing with them. Because there's always that 50% chance that you're looking for a committed monogamous relationship. They know that. But they know that they can't give that to you, but they still want to have access to you. They still want to have a joyride with your heart, with your mind, with your body, with your soul, with your energy, with your resources. And they know in order to get all of that, they got to play the game. They got to make it seem like they're on the same page as you. It's the lying and the manipulation for me, because that's just it. If you're non-monogamous and you're not looking for a committed relationship, keep it real. Keep it real. There's no point in lying. And leading on, go talk to other people who want the same thing as you. Because trust me, there's people like you out here, right? Like me, I keep it real. I'm non-monogamous. Non-monogamy, non-monogamy, non-monogamy. Umar Johnson style. Say it 3 times. Make it nice, baby. I'm non-monogamous. I'm single. And I'm not looking for a committed relationship. I keep it real with the people that I'm talking to. Because I know how it feels to be done dirty, to be used, to really be sitting up thinking that you're building something with somebody. To really be sitting up thinking that you are forming a bond, really getting to that lovey-dovey, you're my soulmate, I've been waiting for you my entire life, we're twin flames. I totally get where you're coming from because I got played and discarded like trash 4 years ago. So I totally get where people are coming from. Shout out to Just Seen It. What's going on? Good evening. It's late night. Just Seen It. Cheaters know who to trust and who not to trust, though. Polyamory isn't cheating, and they know that ish. Is it? Thank you, because a lot of people have that misconstrued. Thank you, Just Seen It. A lot of people have it misconstrued. They think that if somebody's non-monogamous or if somebody's in a polyamorous or, polyamorous relationship where you can have multiple partners, they think that we're just out here cheating, and that's not what non-monogamy is. That's not what polyamory is. Because that's just it. It's about communication. It's about truth and honesty. It's about keeping it real and being vulnerable. Like you said, thank you, Just Seen It. You speaking truth to power right now. Cheaters are not honest, point blank, period. Thank you. And that's just it. When you're in a non-monogamy, like for example, if I had a partner, because see, me, I'm non-monogamous, right? So I don't do monogamy. Me personally, I don't think that, in my personal opinion and lived experience, to me, monogamy for most people, especially if you're going to, and in my opinion, especially if you're going to be dealing with cis men, it's not realistic. It's just not. People want to talk to other people. They're attracted to other people. I don't think one person can be your all and everything. I personally don't want to be with one person and only one person for the rest of my life. Life is too short. Number 2, I do not care for codependent ass folks. I don't care for the clinginess. Been there, done that, seen how that shit will backfire. It don't work for me. So I don't sit up here and put myself in that situation. Like I said before, numerous times. I got played hardcore once, and that was enough for me to learn this is not it. This is not it. This is not for me. I don't see how y'all keep putting yourselves in these monogamous relationships when you're the only one that's monogamous and the person that you're talking to is never monogamous. Pay attention to that shit. You ever notice cheaters don't get with other cheaters? It's almost like it is. They purposely, in my opinion, they purposely seek out people that want loving, committed, monogamous relationships. They don't never go to other cheaters. They're not trying to talk to people that are free and single and having fun and are aware of that. No, they want to go and manipulate and play all these mind games, play on your emotions, get you all open, feel like you done bought this bond and connection, you all vulnerable with them. Meanwhile, if you notice, another thing, this is what I mean about the cheaters. You ever notice with these types, they never really opened up to you at all. You were the one that was opening up the entire time. They never really got deep in the abyss to be vulnerable and open with you. But you, more than likely, were getting deep in the abyss and was very vulnerable and sharing all of these things about you. You was letting your heart and your emotions flow like a waterfall. But unfortunately, when you're dealing with these types, don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the streams that you used to. Because unfortunately, with these types, you swimming in lead poison when you're dealing with these. These people ain't right. Thank you, Just Seen It. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. For real. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's thank you again for the super chat and the commentary and the feedback and the support. Thank you. Um yeah, it's the truth. It's BS. It's absolute BS because they don't want to keep it real with you. They don't want to keep it honest. They want to continue to play these games. And a lot of these people, let's just keep it a buck, they get off on it. They get off on it. They get energized. They get a kick out of hurting other people. They get a kick out of playing with your emotions, out of having you out here looking stupid. Because that's really what it is. They get a kick out of this. They're getting energy. They're feeding off of your sadness. They're happy that you're hurt. They're happy that you're depressed and sad. They get off on this. This is why, case in point, and I'm just keeping it real, when you listen to a lot of today's music, and I ain't gonna say a lot of today's music, when you listen to a lot of mainstream hip hop and rap, for example, it's always about F these hoes, get this money, money over bitches, you know, we out here sleeping with such and such, you know, I got my side chick over here, I got my side bitch over there, blah, blah, blah. You know what it's about, right? So they're making it obvious they're having fun with this. They're happy that they can still have the good girl or the good guy or the good person at home that they're leading on, you know, who's, and mind you, the other person is always like super faithful, you know, really would give the shirt off their back, would literally walk 1,000 miles for this lying piece of shit. Meanwhile, the person that's doing all of the cheating and the lying could give 2 fucks. I'm just keeping it real. They don't give a damn. They don't care. And I'm so sick and tired of us and society, as well as myself, tiptoeing around the shit. Like, we're afraid to say these people are assholes. These people are liars. These people don't care. Why are we afraid to say that? Because there's no other way, in my opinion, you can justify cheating. Why not just keep it real? Hey, this isn't working for me. I want to sleep with other people. I want to have sex with other people. I'm not monogamous. Okay? Like, keep it real. And the out cold part about it, in the same way that there's a 50% chance that theoretically there's a 50% chance that the other person wants a monogamous committed relationship, there's also another 50% chance that the other person also is single, non-monogamous, wants an open relationship, not looking for a committed relationship, would be willing to have multiple partners or have a polyamorous relationship. They could want the same thing that you want. So why don't you just keep it real? Because I know me personally, I'm not trying to waste a monogamous person's time. That's why I just keep it real, because I know how it feels on a personal level. 4 years ago, I thought I was building something that went nowhere. That led to me having my first heartbreak. I can keep it a buck. You feel me? Because again, I'm knocking at 30. Like, what is there for me to sit up here and lie and poo-poo about? I got my heart got stumped into the damn equator. That shit is in the Earth's core somewhere. Like, I mean, two-stepping in my Jordans all over my damn heart. Like, that shit. Like, he was on some just Freddy Krueger, rip your heart out and just burn that hoe. That's how it felt. And over the past 4 years, I've been doing this self-care journey and healing from that. And I still have a very long way to go. Again, I just keep it real. I do think I've made a lot of progress, but I still recognize I have a very long way to go. But that's just it. Why do we have to create heartbreak? Why can't you just keep it real? Just Seen It. They don't a healthy relationship. They want to get over on good people. They don't want a healthy relationship. They want to get over on good people. You are right. It's about power. not love for them. It's control thing, not love. I'm so sorry and glad you're healing. That ish hurts. Just seeing it, you keeping it real. And that's exactly what it is. It really is about power and control. They get off on this. They are happy as hell. And again, don't you think it's odd how they can just bounce from person to person to person to person, breaking all of these people's hearts? It's a trail of broken hearts and people being suicidal and depressed and going through absolute mental hell after dealing with them. They break people's hearts and they just go from person to person doing this. Then you got the other ones that will purposely get people pregnant, knowing damn well they don't want to be anybody's father, mother, parent. They don't want to have the responsibility of a child. They don't care about you. They don't love you, but they purposely will get somebody pregnant or become impregnant so they can trap a person. Let's just keep it real. It's to trap. Because think about it. If they get somebody pregnant or if they become impregnant, okay, they got you, the other person, the unsuspecting victim, they got you on the hook for at least 18 to 21 years. And let's just keep it a buck. Hassan Poppy Campbell style, you feel me? All the way funky, right? Let's just keep it a buck. All the way funky. Let's keep it a buck, right? They got you more than 18 to 21 years. You know good and well if you have a child, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be dealing with that other person until at least one of you dies. Let's just keep it real. Because you can't really just out here think you just going to have kids and not. And then on the out cold part about it, not only do they not plan on being actual parents, they're going to use that child to, skip to the loo back and forth, right? Because see, then you got the ones that get everybody pregnant or become impregnated. But typically, if we're talking about a cis man, this person is going around sleeping with everybody and pumping and dumping, literally in everybody. A hole is a hole for a lot of these types. Let's just keep it real, right? Let's just keep it real. And they don't care who they ejaculate in. They don't care. And, they get all these people pregnant. You got dudes that got kids that had 2 and 3 kids in the same year. You got siblings that are not even 6 months apart. We talking about this one was born April 12th. This other one was born May 20th. The other one was born July 1st. Like, it's like that. It's cray-cray. Right? And then they're from different people, obviously. So you got multiple baby mamas, baby daddies. But let's just keep it real. Multiple baby mamas a lot of times, right? They got multiple baby parents. They got multiple kids with multiple different people. They're not full-time parents. They're not involved in these kids' lives the way that they're supposed to be. Okay? And then let's just be honest. In reality, how can they? You got 8 different kids from 6 different people. And the longest age gap may be 2 to 3 years, if that. Most of the time, it's shit. This one 10, that one's 11. That one's 13, that one's 14. That one's 15 and a half. That's typically how it is because they just knock people up left and right. Or they become knocked up left and right. And they're not interested in being parents. They don't care about them kids. Them kids end up being collateral damage. You end up being the bastard child because 9 times out of 10, you have no inheritance to your father. If we're going to look at it from a cisgendered, heterosexual, patriarchal, normativity, from that lens, you have no inheritance to your father because your father, 9 times out of 10, is a narcissistic douchebag. Is a cheater, is a liar, is emotionally unavailable, is emotionally manipulative, is toxic and dysfunctional. So you don't know anything about this man, you never met him, and or he only comes around a few times out the year, maybe during the holiday season, who knows? Or you got the dude who, because then you got the narcs and the toxic and dysfunctional people who appear like they've moved on and changed their lives and got it together. And then they'll go and have kids with somebody else and then like appear to be the world's best parent, best spouse, partner, significant other. And they'll go off and raise the other family and be like super involved. Meanwhile, they abandon their other child. They don't even care about their other child. And then the other child is just growing up without that parent, has a totally different outlook on life and experience. Meanwhile, their half siblings got to have the dad, got to have the mom and dad or the nuclear family, got to have the involved parent. It's like, what is that shit? Like, how do you sleep at night knowing that you got all these kids that you're not taking care of? You know what I mean? Because a lot of you know that you're ejaculating and coming into people. So you know what you're doing. Like, let's just stop acting like you don't know what you're doing. Like, these people are toxic. I am so sick and tired of us coming up with all of these excuses to justify toxic and dysfunctional, hurtful, deceitful ass behavior. I'm sick of it. I'm just really sick of it. And I'm saying this because, you know, I know y'all probably heard about the Nia Long situation and how, you know, her husband is cheating on her, her significant other, her partner is cheating on her. But like the out cold part is unfortunately what Nia Long is allegedly going through is nothing new. This is very common. And again, her significant other is a cisgendered man. So I'm just going to keep throwing it out there. This seems to be a cis male thing, right? Like, let's see how many hearts I can break, how many people I can lie to, you know. And mind you, disclaimer, all cis men are not like this. There are cis men who want monogamous, committed relationships. There are cis men who are open and honest. They tell you what it is. They're not sitting up here playing all these mind games and leaving out key details and just straight up lying and manipulating. They're not. There are cis men who take care of their children, who are responsible for their children, who are active fathers, who are active partners and significant others. Okay? But in my opinion, we're talking about 10% of the population. Maybe 30 if we want to include the entire group. 30. Maybe 30% of that population. The other 70%, you're fighting tooth and nail for 30%. So to me, realistically, it's kind of one of the reasons why I don't look at cis men as my main focus when it comes to trying to have any type of relationship, whether that's friendships, platonic relationships, business relationships, work relationships, sexual relationships. I don't. Romantic. I don't look at them anymore as a focal center point because, I mean, I don't have time to be fighting over 30%. I don't have time for that. Meanwhile, you're passing up other groups of people that are more likely going to be compatible and not treat you like shit. So that's where I'm at personally. But again, everybody, you know, it is what it is. You do what works for you. And keep in mind, you could be a trans man and be just as toxic and dysfunctional and narcissistic and emotionally unavailable. You could be non-binary. You could be a cis woman. You could be anybody and be like this. But it just seems to me, in my opinion, that the way toxic masculinity, patriarchy, what cis male socialization is, it just seems like it's just very dysfunctional and toxic. Like, y'all don't know what it is to tell the truth. You don't know what it is to be honest. That's just it. Their whole idea of spitting game, you know, I'm spitting game on these hoes, you feel me? Their whole idea of spitting game is literally just lying. That's all it really is. It's being a liar. You know, it's being a liar, and they get off on it. They go and they laugh and they kiki. You know, they talk together and, yeah, bro, I just got done smashing such and such. Haha, she doesn't know I fucked her sister. Like, seriously. And it's just like, what is that? And again, you're doing it premeditated. You plant this shit out. You knew that you were in a relationship with this person. You know the other person thinks that you are in a committed monogamous relationship with them. And you still decided to go out and cheat. That was premeditated. You knew exactly what you were doing. And it's just ridiculous. And another thing is this. If you notice, if they can sit up here and sleep with everybody and ejaculate in everybody and get everybody pregnant, or allow everybody to ejaculate in them and they're constantly pregnant, what makes you think they're also not spreading STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, STIs, sexually transmitted infections? What makes you think they don't have any of those, or they haven't helped to spread any of those? Think about it. They're not using protection. A lot of times when another thing I've noticed is they don't want to use protection. They looking at you like you crazy when you even bring up using a condom, or getting tested. They don't want to get tested. They don't want to use condoms. And then at the same time, our society is absolute trash. I mean, a lot of people don't have health care. We need universal health care, in my opinion. We need it so people can have access to the doctors to get tested on a regular basis, to get preventative methods like getting on PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis, okay? A daily pill once a day can help prevent you from contracting HIV altogether. But people need healthcare to get that. You gotta have a prescription. You gotta have a doctor. How you gonna pay for the prescription? How you gonna get the appointment with the doctor? So we need that. But I'm just saying, you'll notice these types, they not interested in any of that. They not. Just seen it. Hello. Like, why would I take your cootie drawers back? Okay, but Jimmy hats are pretty available everywhere for cheap, though. Very true. Very true. Just seen it. While I agree we need universal health care so everybody can have access to quality, affordable, accessible, and inclusive health care coverage and insurance, I agree with you because, shit, you're right. There are so many free clinics. Like, when I was, like, you could just walk into clinics and just be like, I need condoms, and they will give you a freaking bag of condoms, and the very same people who sit up and talk about, well, condom is expensive, blah, blah, blah. If you can buy $3 and $4 and $5 and $600 pair of tennis shoes, you can buy you a box of condoms. Okay, this was like less than $8 for 12, which is also ridiculous. I mean, these shouldn't be no more than $3 to $4. But you can get these for free. I don't know if you can get the skins for free, but I mean, condoms are everywhere. Like, get you some condoms. This was already open. Get you some condoms. I keep boxes. Lifestyle, skins, Trojans. But if I'm going to be honest, and if you notice, all of these boxes have something in common. They're all condoms, right? But they're different brands. Different brands. Different price points. But what do they all have in common? Right? What do all these boxes have in common? Because you got to find out the condoms that work well for you and what don't work well for you. But what they all have in common is they're either ultra sensitivity or they're super thin. Thin tensity. This one is elite, ultra thin, ultra soft. Because, like, I'll be honest, I get why people like having, they don't like using condoms, because people do want to feel it. But guess what? You can literally buy condoms that allow you to feel it, as you say. And there's different brands, and there's different price marks. Find what works for you. But if I was going to, I use as much harm reduction methods that I can. Because, let's be honest, every time you have sex, there's a risk for many possibilities. Whether that's in sexually transmitted disease, or sexually transmitted infections, unwanted pregnancies, catching feelings that you didn't really want to catch. There's just so many different things that can happen. So I try to take risk reduction, harm reduction methods Because, I mean, let's be honest. To say I'm never going to have sex is ridiculous at this day and age. I mean, I literally spent basically 26 years not having consensual sex, right? So, like, I didn't start joining the party until August of 2019, 3 years ago. So, now that I'm here at the party, I'm trying to continue to dance, but I'm dancing with a smooth two-step and using my, you feel me, my harm reduction methods. But yeah, I use condoms. I'm on PrEP. Pre-exposure prophylaxis. Information will be in the description box below. I get tested at least once every 3 months. And then sometimes I get tested. Sometimes I've gotten tested back to back, month to month, because I did have more partners or I had more interactions. I'll keep it real with you. I don't have anything to lie to you about. We can go get tested together because that's just how often I get tested. And when I get tested, I get a full STD, STI panel. And another thing is when you get your full sexually transmitted disease, sexually transmitted infection panel testing, make sure you get your oral swabbed, your anus swabbed, your vaginal or your front hole or your back hole swabbed. Wherever you're having sex at, you want to get it swabbed because you could have STDs, STIs that won't be picked up through the blood, but if they swab, they'll see, oh, well, you got some shit in your mouth or you got some some stuff up in your front hole or your back hole or what have you. So not only do you want to get the blood work and give the urine sample, but you want to swab where you're getting things done at, all right? You know, at least once every 3 months. You know, or if you want, and again, it's based off of the how many times you're having sex, because some of us need to be doing it every month because we have multiple partners or we had way more engagements this month, right? So it's just about that, you know. And then everyone's always on this, oh, but I'm in a committed relationship. I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about that. Yes, you do. Because we literally just spent the most majority of this live talking about what? Cheaters, liars, manipulative, toxic, and dysfunctional types of people, right? We literally just got done talking about emotionally unavailable, potentially narcissistic types of people. So while you might have a partner, I am in a committed relationship. I'm married. I'm getting engaged. Okay, while this may all be very real and true, who's to say the other person is doing the same thing as you? See, that's just it. That's why it's always the people that are in these relationships that find out later on down the road that they have an STD, an STI, or a person that they're with has multiple kids outside with other people because you are in la la land half the time. And I'm not saying that everybody is a cheater, but you know what? I'd rather be safe than sorry, personally. And I'm going to take the harm reduction method. I'm dropping condoms. Oh, my goodness. I'd rather take the harm reduction method than to be sitting up thinking everything is peachy and then come to find out I'm burning. I'm having issues. I'm having things pop up and happen to me. And then I go get tested. And then I'm sitting up here basically, I didn't see this coming because I thought we were in a committed relationship. Exactly. So I'm going to take the harm reduction methods, you feel me? But if I had to choose my favorites, I love skin. Skins are really dope, especially for those of you who have any allergies to latex, what have you. Skins are non-latex condoms. And they're just really, 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 really good. This is the Elite box. I've had other skin boxes. But yeah, I like skin. And then of course, you know, it's a oldie. It's been out for a century or longer. You know, you've got your magnums. But here's the thing. I don't really care for these. Because they're just so, like, stanky. They just have that rubber, like, I just don't like the smell. but I understand that there are people who have penises and a lot of cis men who feel like they're just, yeah, man, I only like the rubs, you know, I only do magnums. But it's like, dude, you can literally put your whole fist inside of a condom. If I can put this whole fist in a condom, you don't need this. But, you know, again, you try to be, well, at least I try to be thoughtful, or, you know, try to take whoever I'm engaging with into consideration. So I do pick up magnums from time to time. But not my, okay, maybe I got a little more. Not my favorite setup. But I do like these. These are the Trojan Thintensities. These are pretty nice. Pretty nice. These are pretty nice. I like these. But ultimately, yeah. And then I just got these because, like, I just like to stock up. It's just, it is what it is. I like to stock up and always have harm reduction methods. And then these are like the Lifestyles, ultra sensitive. Again, what did I say? If you notice, what do these have in common? They're all either ultra sensitive or they're super thin. I like these. But I keep these because it's like, it is what it is. You never know. And it's just really important to always have those. Have them ready. Another harm reduction method, lube. Get you some freaking lube. Okay, but that's a whole nother thing. You know, there's so many harm reduction methods. Harm reduction. Getting tested, and I stand by PrEP. Like, PrEP is like I said, a daily pill. They even got it now where people can get, I think, injections. But it's a daily pill. This is the generic version. I have the other version, the actual version, like the name brand, Truvada. But if you notice with your insurance, sometimes they start acting crazy. And what's effed up is even the freaking generic bottle is $60 copay, which is weird. But anyways, it's a daily pill that can help prevent a person from contracting HIV. So it's just that. And then of course there's always abstinence if you choose to be celibate and abstinent. Do you. Do what works for you. I know it works for me, okay, what I like to do. But yeah, it's just, again, they're liars. Okay? They don't care. They get off on this. And then not to mention, you got people who really do operate from a place of hurt. Right? So hurt people, unfortunately. And you got people who really feel like because they got played in middle school by this one person that they really, really liked, they're going to take that out on everybody that they come into contact with. And it's almost like for them, it's payback. But you cutting on people, you cutting on folks that didn't hurt you. That's the thing. Y'all don't never confront the person that played your ass. Instead, you go and hurt other people that's trying to love your ass. And that's how you know you're toxic. And we just got to stop. How can you sit up, in my opinion, and willingly lie and do this person dirty and all of this stuff, knowing how much they love you, how much they care about you, all the shit that they do for you and everything else? And you just go out and you do them like that. So like I said, you're toxic. Nobody has time anymore to try to justify why you're doing what you're doing. I'm not doing that anymore. I know how it felt 4 years ago. And that's why I just keep it real, people. I'm single. I'm mingling. I'm non-monogamous. And yeah, I have other sexual partners. I talk to other people. However, just because I'm non-monogamous Just because I'm single, just because I like sex, just because I'm intersex, just because I'm trans, just because I'm queer, gay, pansexual, LGBTQ+, just because I'm a sexual person, a sexual human being, doesn't mean that that's all I want to do. And it doesn't mean that everybody that I talk to, I'm having sex with. I have plenty of partners that I don't have sex with, that we've never had sex with. Like, I've never done anything with them, and or the amount that I have done with them is mostly like oral or kissing or cuddling. That's about it. And then there's other partners that I don't do anything of that nature. We just really enjoy our emotional connection of, being able to have someone who cares about how you feel, what's going on with you. You can talk to them about everything. Y'all go cook for each other, you might go to the movies, you might read books together, and that's just like your emotional partner, companion, but you're not having sex with them, or the entire relationship doesn't evolve around that. And that's kind of the thing that I like about being non-monogamous, is that you can have different types of relationships with different people. You don't have to have one person that needs to be your lover, your friend, your confidant, your therapist, your sex partner, because to me, that doesn't work for me. I can't do that with one person. It doesn't work for me. I also don't think it's realistic, personally. And especially, again, if you're dealing with cis men. I don't care what sexuality the cisgendered man is. I don't care what race the cisgendered man is. I don't care what class the cisgendered man is. I don't care what type of educational level, what type of job they have. The likelihood of having a monogamous committed relationship with them, in my opinion, like I said, you got about 30% that want that, in my opinion. The other 70%, they're not looking for that. And they make it obvious. Because if you notice, the same issues that women who sleep around and want to have relationships, platonic and sexual and romantic relationships with men, cis men, they're also being cheated on. And the gay men, whether you're cis or trans, the men who also want to have these same sexual, romantic relationships with others, with cis men, are being cheated and lied to. So again, it's obvious that, this particular demographic, they're just not into what you're into. But instead of being honest about that, they still want to have access to you. Because again, it's about power and control. So they're not going to be honest. They're just going to play like they really are into this so they can. And then some of them really do like spending time with you. They actually do like being around you. But they still want to go and have other relations. But they don't want to be honest and open about that. And that's the problem. And again, there's people who want what you want. But that's just it. It's like, are we really looking for people to be compatible? Or are we looking for people to get over on? Are we looking for people to use? Are we looking for people to take our hurt and pain out on? Because it just doesn't make sense to me. Because you could go and talk to somebody that also wants to get it in and be non-monogamous and have multiple partners. But no, you don't do that. You go and you seek the person that actually wants a monogamous committed relationship. What is that? What is that? I guess it really is opposites attract, or toxic people seek people who are opposite from them. Something ain't adding up. I don't get the point. Like I said, the minute I find out a person is monogamous, because like I have these conversations and I straight up be like, well, like, what are you looking for in that type of relationship? Like, what is your ideal relationship? What do you want? You know what I mean? I'm very straight to the point. Because again, I always say this, I'm on the autistic spectrum. So I need people to be direct with me. That's why I'm direct with the people that I'm talking to. I don't do all of this as y'all do, where it's just like, instead of just keeping it real, right? Instead of being honest, instead of keeping it 100, it's like neurotypical people, from my perspective, go around the corner, down the street, around the corner, down the street. It's the convenient ways of lying every day. No, but for real, it's like they go around the corner when they could have just said, hey, I also like to talk to other people. But no. So I'm just very direct. Like, what are you looking for? So the minute I find out a person is looking for a committed monogamous relationship, I just straight up tell them, like, look, I can't give that to you because that's not what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? And by all means, if that's who you want, if that's the type of relationship you want, I hope you're able to find that. But I don't want to take up your time because that's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I can give you. Or there are people where I was like, damn, I could potentially have a main partner. Like, I would totally be down to have a main partner, but we still can do our thing and have other relationships. I would totally be down for that. But I'm upfront about that. I'm not going to sit up here and have you thinking that, oh, we can get to know each other and continue to do this. And then you're getting deeper and deeper and deeper into it. And then, and a lot of times you're getting deeper and deeper into it too, but you also know that you're not monogamous. So that's why, to me, it's important to constantly have open communication and dialogue and check in to see where this person is at, where you're at. Are y'all on the same page? Because this is how you can avoid your feelings getting hurt. Just be open and honest, and also be vulnerable. You can't be coming into, in my opinion, you can't be coming into relationships if you're not willing to be vulnerable. If you're still sitting up here afraid to show who you really are and how you feel and express that, I don't really know how you're forming any type of relationship on that level. And that's a whole nother thing. It's how you could be in these relationships with these people this entire time. You done spent weeks, months, years with this person. You have been open, honest, and vulnerable. Or you have really been pouring your heart out. You know what I mean? And also, when you're with these people, doesn't it seem like you're always like performing? Like you have to keep trying to prove that you're the ride or die, that you're the right person for them. Meanwhile, they're constantly showing you red flags. That's another thing. A lot of times with these types, let's just keep it real because we can't, me, psych perspectives, we got to keep it a buck. We got to turn that, point the fingers and point them boys back at yourself. Now they all pointing me. They pointing at me. Because we also got to keep it real. A lot of times that red flag was just boom, 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 boom. And the whole time, oh, well, that's just, they had a bad childhood. Well, I shouldn't have said this. Well, sometimes I am a bit clingy. Yeah, take accountability. But how you going to keep always having excuses for how you are getting hit in the face with a red flag? Or in this case, a red cup. You getting hit in the face with a red cup. And you still sitting up talking about coming up with all these reasons. The reasons why you're getting lied to. Okay? Because that's it. You're getting lied to. And they keep lying because they're also playing with your emotions. And then also, a lot of times, they know if they were honest with you, it would hurt you even more. I'm going to be honest. Because a lot of folks also have a hard time with accepting people for who they are. A lot of people like to repaint and re-image shit. And it is what it is. The person is not for you, but you keep trying to make them for you. Right? Like, that's something I had to take accountability with, right? I had to take ownership with. So, yeah. Just seen it. Man, listen, thank you. Thank you. For real. Yes, reality check. Phantom Nikki, this is very true. And a bad childhood doesn't excuse treating your partner like garbage. Thank you, Phantom Nikki, and Just Seen It. For real, it's the truth. A lot of us had adverse childhoods. A lot of us went through a lot of traumatic experiences, a lot of trauma and abuse. What's going on? Easier said with Meg. What's going on? You can't sleep. Hopefully you can get some sleep soon. I like, what I'll do is I put on that rain, thunder noise with the dark screen, or like white noise, and they have it on YouTube, and I just let that play loud, smoke me a little, or have me some lavender and chamomile tea with some honey and milk, and I go to bed. About 30-45 minutes in, I go to bed. That's what I do. That, or I do a bunch of push-ups, and then I get tired, and then I go to bed. Rain. Yes, I use the rain. Put that on. My favorite one is the one where it's like thunder, but it's thunder on like a tin roof. So you hear the rain hitting the tin roof, and it's on, and ooh, it's like 10 hours because they got the long ones. That's what I like. Mm-hmm. Lavender and yes. I be throwing honey and some milk in there. It's good. It's good. You done had you a nice cup, and I had me a little weed sometimes, you feel me? Or, like I said, I'll do a bunch of push-ups, then get the tea. It's real good. Also, like taking hot showers, or like warm hot baths, and then with your tea, and then going to bed. That helps me go to bed too. Yes, I'm glad that you are spending time with us, and I'm glad that that you're here, and thank you again for the super chat, for the conversation, for sharing your experiences and information. But yes, I'm just saying again, y'all, we got to stop. We're getting to, in my opinion, as you get older, you get to a point where you got to stop missing the red flags. You got to stop looking for fairy tales and thinking that everything is just going to be perfect, or everything's going to be a Disney movie or whatever. We get into that age where we just got to take the rose-colored glasses off and see shit for what it is, you know? And in my opinion, cheaters are toxic people. And then, like you said, Phantom Nikki, just because you went through things doesn't mean you get to inflict pain and suffering and negativity and toxicity off on other people. A lot of people like to use their childhood to justify the things that they are doing and saying currently, and it's like, I have to take, because I'm guilty of that, right? I'm guilty of doing that too, and I gotta take accountability. I can't keep blaming what happened to me when I was 8 for why I'm doing the shit that I'm doing at damn near 30, right? And a lot of us need to own up to that, including myself, right? Like, you can't keep doing that, because it's like you're literally, in my opinion, what I've learned for myself is that when I was doing that, it's like you're living in a loop. Right? You keep replaying the same shit. You keep going through the same lessons, the same problems, because you're not willing to address that issue. You're not willing to learn from it. You're not really trying to heal. You just want to keep using it as a crutch. And I'm not saying that what you went through, didn't happen, wasn't hurtful, shouldn't be addressed, people need to be held accountable. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, don't it get old? You in the same situation over and over, and you always playing victim. And you notice toxic people love to play victim all the damn time. They never take accountability. Shit, a cheater will blame you for why they cheated. That's all I'm, like, it's the gaslighting in the mind game. It's like, come on. You really finna sit up here and blame the person you cheated on for why you cheated on them. Because you don't want to take accountability for why you did what you did. You don't want to take responsibility. You don't want to be a grown person. You don't want to be an adult. You want to be a little ass kid, and I'm going to blame everybody else for why I'm doing what I'm doing, knowing what I'm doing is wrong. So who's to blame at that point besides you? And I say this because even when, notice too, sometimes people be knowing that folks got significant others, and willingly will cheat with them. And then other times there's people who have no idea that the person has a significant other, because we got to remember we're dealing with liars, manipulators. But then there are people who willingly will sleep with married folks, okay, with people that are in monogamous committed relationships and be knowing. So we got to keep it real. There's it's effed up out here, right? And even then, I would still have more, me personally, I would still have more of an issue with the person that's in the committed relationship, because the only person that's in a committed relationship is you. The person you cheated with is not in a committed relationship with me. So whether they knew about me or didn't know about me, doesn't matter. You're the one that's supposed to be in the committed monogamous relationship. So why the hell are you the one cheating? So, I mean, again, why do we keep putting blame on everybody else but the toxic ass person that's doing the wrong thing? I'm just saying. And I'm just tired of us coming up with excuses for that. But I'm also tired of people using what they went through as children or any bad situation that they ever experienced. They use it and they keep using it to justify treating others like shit. And that's not cool. And again, and this is something, if you know that you don't want them, then why are you playing with them? Why do you keep going to them? Why you keep doing it? Like, just leave that person alone. Leave that person alone. You feel me? So I don't know. I just have to do this. Again, this was inspired by the Nia Long situation. But again, like I said, there's going to be a lot more Nia Longs, unfortunately, and this is sadly nothing new. And this is just a pattern of behavior that a lot of people participate in. And just keeping it real, in my opinion, a lot of cisgendered men participate in this type of behavior. Like, they just get off on doing this. But again, cis women do it, trans men do it, trans women do it, non-binary people do it. Everybody, unfortunately, from different demographics and walks of life, seem to participate in this very toxic, manipulative, hurtful, and deceitful behavior. And it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. You don't have to do these things. But it's late. It's about to be 1 o'clock. I just wanted to just, talk about that on a live. And yes, y'all, thank you all for tuning in. I hope y'all can get some rest, whether it's with the lavender and chamomile tea, push-ups, a little marijuana, you feel me? Taking a hot shower or a nice hot bath, listening to the rain, whatever it may take. I hope you get some good rest and get some sleep tonight. And yes, those red flags in games are not cute. You're right. They're played out. They're just played out. Seriously, I'm literally knocking at 30. Why are we still, trying to get off on leading people on like we in middle school and high school? Like, grow up. Like, people be in their 40s and 50s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, still trying to play games. No bueno. Okay? But thank you all for tuning in.